Hello, everybody, and welcome back from the break. I am the host of Game Masters, Kiara_TV, and we've got a two-parter today, starting things off with Lobos Jr. running Eternal Ring, and then after that, we're going to see VXC bringing us Final Fantasy VII Remake, the Yuffie DLC Frogs Percent. If you have no idea what that is, well, stick around because it's going to be a very, very silly run. I promise you. If you like frogs, if you like FF7, you like messing around with the frog, the frog status effect, we're going to get a lot of that here tonight. Before we get into the show itself, Games Done Quick is hiring. So if you love creative work and have experience in planning and organizing, apply to be a prize assistant at our mainline events. Visit gamesdonequick.com/jobs by May 11th to apply. I'd also like to remind everybody that Summer Games Done Quick 2025 will be live in Minneapolis from July 6th through the 13th. So register to attend the event by May 26th. Use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gamesdonequick.com for more info. Now, I am joined here by Lobos Jr., the runner for Eternal Ring. Now, Eternal Ring, I have to tell you a little fun story about how I came across this game, because I had never heard of it. But I popped into Lobos' stream one day, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, you know, this is just Elden Ring at home, just making a joke on the name, Eternal Ring. And then Lobos proceeds to tell me that it's actually also made by From Software, just like a really, really early From Software game. It's actually a PlayStation 2 launch game released in the year 2000 by FromSoft. And I just like, that slayed me. I was done. And then ever since then, I've just had a soft spot for this game. But Lobos, you're bringing this here today.
That's right.
Of all the games to play, like I know you do a lot of Souls speedruns. You've been on Hotfix in the past doing Dark Souls Randomizer, which has been really fun.
That's right.
Why Eternal Ring?
The real answer is, by the way, you look great. I loved your outfit. You look like you were set for a gala. I feel really underdressed now. But the real answer for why Eternal Ring is I played it for the first time and I loved it, and I looked up speedrun stuff and there really wasn't much out there. So I took it upon myself to go through it, build a route, find some glitches, some skips, and that sort of thing. And now people have beat my times on it. Gosh darn it. But no, we love that. We love that. Community working together to break open games. That's part of one of my favorite things about speedrunning. So yes, Eternal Ring. You ready to get started?
I'm not sure if I am or I'm not. Like I've seen bits and pieces of this run as I go and lurk, and you know, from what I understand, there are many unskippable cutscenes, which makes me happy because again, this game was released in 2000, so this is like peak English voice acting.
Oh, it's so good
for this style of game, especially like for Japanese games that were localized. So I'm sure it's going to be a treat for anybody who is not.
For anybody who hasn't seen it, especially if you stick around till like the last like 10 minutes of the game, it gets unhinged and it's wonderful. We love it around here.
Yeah, but go ahead and give us a countdown whenever you are ready.
I'm ready. So let's go in 3, 2, 1. Eternal Ring. So there is a starting cutscene, but we're going to skip right into a second cutscene, which is the important one. Boy, where do I even begin with Eternal Ring? If anybody's ever heard of the Kingsfield series of fantasy first-person RPGs, this is very similar. Eternal Ring's got kind of a unique system of when you kill monsters, they can drop gems, and you find these magic rings, and you can combine them in a whole bunch of different ways to craft spells, both active and passive, and there's something like 54, 55 rings in the game. So I really enjoy that part of it, just kind of the spell crafting, and it was fun to route in that way. So here we see the protagonist, Kane Morgan, who's been sent to this island to deliver a letter to the captain of a squad that is stationed here, and he's gotten he's gotten a ride from our friendly, super thick Brooklyn accent boatman. We're just gonna, we love this guy.
Oh God. All the entire Polygon budget went to the face. Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the lift.
Thanks for the lift.
If you're gonna deliver that ladder, you'll be a lot better off doing it before nightfall. You bet I will.
You bet I will. And the protagonist never spoke again. That's it. That's all we hear from him.
That's all you need.
That's all you need, really.
Ran out of budget.
Steer clear of this island. Gotta be hard working for the king.
You know, I do love this sense of dramatic irony here, where this, for no reason, this ferryman is talking to himself out of earshot. You know, this island is not great. Why are we here, audience?
Yeah, they've
wink,
been
wink.
on a boat for like hours probably, and only now is he like, we usually steer clear of this island, as he's walking away. Like, okay. And sadly, we quickly learn of the dangers of the island as the dragon circles round. Thank you, ferryman, boatman. You made our journey possible.
Goodbye, ferryman.
Goodbye. No!
Whoa! What was that, Lobos? I didn't expect to get jump scares.
I know, right? We're plopped right into the world of Eternal Ring. And as I said, the way that works, we collect these rings of magic and combine it with gems that we will find throughout the playthrough to craft spells. And this route in particular is using wind spells. Basically, every ring that you craft that is wind-focused will give you more wind attribute, and then your wind spells are stronger. So is your defense against wind. It's kind of how this works. Even if you get a stronger physical weapon, it also increases your resistance to physical damage. So at one point, we will get a weapon upgrade. So here I'm getting a couple of, this is a little bit RNG for speed, but also it is possible to have to like go backwards and collect gems if they don't drop entirely. There are, okay, so I'm gonna have to get one other gem. Unfortunately, this is a big time loss here, but this is pretty rare, but I have to backtrack to a different mosquito just to get a guaranteed gem drop.
Hey, listen,
it takes a little bit longer.
This is just giving us some more Eternal Ring tonight. You know, never,
it's true.
Never lament the time loss on a GDQ run. It's kind of just par for the course that you're going to get bad RNG here.
Come here, little mosquito. It really is, though. It really is. Come on, buddy. And we also have to wait for him to, like, you know, come over to us. Hi. Give me your gem. Thank you. All right, off to a great start. There is one point in the game where if RNG is unkind, we actually don't get the spell we need. And I have saves, you know, safety saves for if that happens to happen. Most of the time we're good, but there is that chance. So there may be some points we have to save, or load a save. But in any case, we're getting out of the first cave here, and we're arriving at this guard camp to deliver this letter, right? And we're gonna skip through all the dialogue, but essentially the captain that we're delivering a letter to is not here. And we're not supposed to be here, but they can't just send us back. So they take our weapon, our sword, and then we're gonna dive into a water temple. This guy is just, normally at this point, they take your sword. You can get a different sword from an NPC, but we're going to go in swordless and see how we fare in the first dungeon.
So is there a map in this game? I noticed we're going through some samey catacombs. Like, magic can get lost pretty easily.
You know, I don't think there is a map.
You know, Lobos, since you speedrun this, I figured you would know about this. You know,
so
did I get the wrong person on for Game Masters?
I did like a 100% run not too long ago too, just to like, you know, review and check strats, see if there are some new things. There are some new strats out there. I didn't commit to the bit because I didn't prep long enough for this. I didn't want to mess up the new strats. So I'm using a little bit outdated strats, but it's good, and it's the route that I came up with. Let me see, is there a map? If there is a map, it's one of those that shows you like a very worthless overview that you can actually use. Sure. I don't think there is a map though, but I could be wrong. There's a compass, but no map. Oh yeah, you'll notice in the top left, this olive that rotates while we move. That is actually a compass, and we are going to use that quite a bit as we're going to be doing some out of bounds, and we need to navigate sometimes in pitch black. And so it's just very convenient that we have that for those purposes. And our first out of bounds skip is going to be coming up pretty soon. This is like basically the first dungeon. It's the water temple. You have to find a way to drain the water, which clears the route to the boss. But luckily, if you get below the water or you load into the area in a bad spot, the game doesn't care that you're underwater, so it won't damage you at all.
That's
so
nice.
we're gonna take this little Sahagian lizard man. I'm trying to bait him to do a jump. When he jumps, he'll jump. There he goes. He'll jump to where you are after the jump happens, just to get him over here faster. Then we're gonna have him climb up 3 of these steps. And we're gonna use a classic little 3D clip where we're just going to, I messed it up.
That's okay.
We're just gonna use the model of the enemy to push us through the wall and then out of bounds. And you'll see in a sec that out of bounds is kind of weird. You don't have any gravity. Now we're out of bounds. We're gonna travel to a couple chests that we want. However, in just testing this and trying to figure out how to make this work, it turns out there's like, you can fall down by chests, like next to chests. So it looks like I'm taking damage, and I am, but it's not bad. But it allows us to change our height. So like there's these chests down here, and I'm just gonna walk over them, and there's basically like a little empty cylinder of collision. Oh, it lets us fall down. Although I think I'm still a little too high. Oh, there we go, okay. Do some menuing here. Equip Fireball, which is our first spell that we got. I'm going to set Magic Stone, which restores mana, to my quick item. And now we're running south based on the compass to reach...
How nice there to be a compass.
It's so nice. It's very nice, yes. Okay, I thought maybe... I didn't want to say it, but I've never done that and ended up so high. Like, I was a bit higher than usual. And I was concerned I wasn't going to get to be able to interact with the door, but it worked out. It worked out. So
I've been thinking about it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. What about
I was thinking about like this water dungeon. Like I was just like, it looks so familiar, and I'm pretty sure I've gone through about 25 of these water temples in Elden Ring side dungeons.
Yes. So
it's nice to see the original version of those in Eternal Ring.
The true prequel to Elden Ring is here. On the 2000 PS2 game from Software. So the music in this game, I want to highlight, is actually really awesome. And I really like this boss theme. And this is just a big Sahagian boss who we're going to it's going to look real cheesy. We just get close to him and bait melee attacks. And you can just space those attacks very easily. I mean, it's a first boss, so it's not anything too crazy. It's your tutorial. And again, we don't have he's charging. That's kind of rare.
Yeah, I was like, I did not expect to see feet movement.
Yeah. Oh, the side.
Oh, you got hops?
He's juking.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, but he's dead.
Oh, GG's.
There is a little bit of time while he's dying before we can interact with the door anyway, so we actually don't lose that much time, or any. And here's going to be another unskippable cutscene where we get introduced to the most boring character in the game. And we also acquire our first of 4 elemental keys that are required to reach the end of the game. This is the water key. Go figure, in the water temple. So,
I can't believe it.
Can't believe it. This will begin the lore journey of figuring out what's happened on this island. The captain's missing. What's going on? This dragon is here? Okay. This honestly, when I'm speedrunning this is usually the part where I take a little nap. He's such a slow talker. The key. But
we do get to see a protagonist's face.
You do.
I was worried.
He has.
I was really worried that it would just be for FPV.
They would never show him again.
How many polygons are on that face? Can't get over it.
It's true. They knew where to put the budget. I mean, but look at the visual effect on this dragon. Really.
Yeah, I was saying for 2000, you got some nice shiny
for
stuff.
2000.
That was next level for PlayStation 2.
Transparent textures there. Like, yeah, great.
Nothing looked shiny on N64 PS1.
I don't even have to spring
So slow.
talk.
Yeah, but so what? I don't want to get too ahead of myself in the story, but I probably will. Basically, we want to collect these 4 keys in kind of their respective areas. Like there's an earth area, there's fire area. And that'll give us access to the final area of the game, at which point there's a final boss. And man, we don't even know what we're doing now because the plan is out the window. But we know now that we must find Lila according to this really sleepy water dragon, and well, let's do it. So we're gonna backtrack.
Are we literally watching him swim all the way away? Oh my god, we are.
What? Yeah, he's going.
We are.
He's going. And then we get the key. And now we're back. We're back. So we're gonna backtrack out the water temple. You'll notice we're gonna exit one of the upcoming doors, and you'll see the water line above us. Yeah, they just gave up. There's no kill box there or anything, so it's still kind of buggy. One thing that I'll mention that's really, really cool to learn about in this game was kind of how the enemies move based on you, like the AI. And what I figured out after a bunch of testing and stuff was if you're close enough to an enemy, they're gonna walk like if they're left of the center of the screen, they're going to continue to walk that way, and then vice versa. If they're to the right of the center of your screen, they're going to walk to that direction. So using that information, we can control the Sahagin and get them in the position that we want. Excuse me, crab? What? I'm going to pop a safety heal just in case. Okay. So yeah, let me try and get him to jump. He jumped.
Wow.
Well, he jumped back though. Okay, so once he gets close, you'll see he's walking that way. But if I look to his other side, he'll walk the other way. So using that, we kind of control some of the enemies. There's some other interesting ways that the different enemies will work that we use to our advantage for setting up skips and whatnot. That's why he's like strafing to that side. All right, 3 steps up. We're gonna do the same skip, except this time. Okay, well, it's not going to work again.
Well, the little slow swat.
Yeah, a little slow swat.
I just love how slow they move. But then they jump like 10,000 feet in one bound.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, he was too far back there.
So I have curiosity.
Yes.
How friendly are checkpoints or saves in this game? No old stuff. It kind of hit or miss.
Oh my gosh, come on, dude. They're like, you'll find 1, maybe 2 in an area, and then that's it. So, okay. And it's the kind where if you don't save, you don't have a save. Like, There we go. Okay. So you could be playing for like 2 hours and forget to save, and you lost 2 hours. But we do have, like I said, we got safety saves for various parts of this, so we shouldn't have too much of an issue. These are the cases.
I mean, I wasn't worried. More curious than.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. So now we're actually just going to hit the trigger that loads us back into the first area. So there's a bit of that going on to help speed things along. And now, as we return to the base camp, we learn, oh no, things have gone wrong. Danger is afoot.
What happened off camera?
What happened? These people who we probably would have talked to and, know who they are.
Yeah, it's the first we've seen them.
Yeah. Well, this is the guy that actually took our sword from us at the beginning.
Yeah.
This we didn't see this lady, but she's still alive. And now we're going to find out what exactly happened to the captain. Sort of. Well, it's a little bit of a mystery, but then we get some great, just some of the best voice acting. It's so good. Oh no, he's bleeding. There he is. He's gone.
Wait, where did he go?
Where did he go? I don't know.
Oh!
Look behind you. Behind you. No.
Is this the captain?
This is the captain.
What?
You little rats of the elders. Is that the best you can do? The eternal ring is mine.
They said the name. They said the name of the game right there.
Oh man, there's a couple.
All right,
times
so the
where-
captain has always been just a demon, and
No, not always. Something weird's going on in this island, and now, yeah, that's unusual. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, usually don't just sprout wings randomly. At least I
mean,
don't. I'm not
if
sure
you're
about
cool,
you, Chad.
I don't know. Cool people do. I've never sprouted wings though.
I'm not cool enough for that.
Nah, no, definitely not. Not me. So I got a weapon now. That, again, that will increase our attack, give us an actual melee attack, but also increases our physical defense. I kind of like how it works, how that works in this game. There's no armor. Your defense is purely based on your weapon. And then the more element you stack, the more rings of a certain element, the more damage you'll do, and the more resistant you are to that element.
Yeah, so I do see we have level up mechanics, because when you kill the boss, I saw ding, level up.
Level up is basically plus
what does that
HP and
actually do?
MP. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. HP and MP. I was wondering what it's going to do.
Oh, this guy gave me really good RNG. Oh, well, he was starting to, but he'll get caught in this corner. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want to see. So now we're just chucking fireballs. Oh, it's a good fight.
There we go. GG's.
Wolfman
like a mini boss?
ambushes us. Huh?
Is that like a mini boss there? You just
Basically,
made a
yeah.
quick workout?
Yeah.
Well, good job, Lobos. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Doing
you.
great, buddy.
Thank you. Maybe it's he who set the fire.
Maybe.
I don't know. Now, after Kane Morgan, the protagonist, has buried all of his newfound friends.
Oh, that's what these are. Okay.
That's what they are. Yeah, they look like turtles, but they're graves.
Yeah.
All right, they're gravestones. He honors them. And we will move on. For someone needs to figure out what's going on around here. So we return to where we fought the Wolfman. The fires have now dissipated, and there is a water key door that will allow us to progress.
Convenience. And why do you think this village has a water key door? Did they install this? Is this like one of those ancient doors that has been there since the beginning of time, and none of the villagers know quite what it does, but it's there?
There are clearly there's clearly magical civilizations that lived here. As we're going to see here, I teleport in, and for the first time, we're going to meet this interesting little guy who is actually going to allow us to begin our magical ring crafting journey. So the first time you see him, this little cutscene plays, and I don't know, it's a little display of power or something like, whoa. Cool. And now we have access to this, which we'll access from different places. I do need to focus, make sure I craft the right things. We got 2 feathers. That's okay. Usually I get a green and a red, so the 2 greens were confusing me. I'll explain how this ring crafting works, because it's a little confusing. But on the crafting dial or screen, there's 3 slots on the left, 3 slots on the right. The left side determines the element of ring that we are making. So in this case, this is a leaf gem that's an earth type gem. The right side will determine what kind of ring it is, whether it's a support ring or an attack ring. And then every gem you slot in has a level to it. And all of the gems in your craft menu will combine to form in this case, it was a level 1 gem and a level 1 gem, so we get level 2. Now there's a scale of, there's a range at which if you get enough levels, now it becomes like a tier 2 ring of that type, basically. So if I had higher level earth gems, but I did the same configuration, now you get like the tier 2 earth support spell. It's a little involved, but there's graphs out there that you can read to figure out how to get what ring and this and that. But it's kind of a fun thing to experiment with on your first playthrough, just going, oh, what kind of ring am I going to get now? And you get earth, fire, wind, water, and you also get light and dark gems. And,
wait, did you just take fall damage falling like 2 feet?
Yes, it was only like 4 damage. But wait,
okay.
I did take it, yes. So now we're running through, of course, most of the game is just running through the areas, grabbing what we need, and making our way towards the next boss or whatnot. This is another Ring of Magic, because we're going to have a total of, I think, 2 other crafted spells. Again, all wind route. And so we will be collecting some gems along the way, like from this little ogre man, I don't know. There we go. And as far as how the gems drop, some enemies have guaranteed drops, and some are pure RNG, so that's always fun. As I mentioned, there's an area later that is going to, could actually break a run if you're doing it, because you just don't get the drops you need. But again, we have backup saves for that. It just can be a little annoying if you get there on a run and then, well, you gotta reset because you didn't get your drops. Okay. I'm just killing these little guys for a little bit more XP. Again, more HP, more mana for those, so that helps us do what we need to do.
Yeah, this is just New Londo Ruins Lobos right here.
Basically, yeah.
That's what this is. Yeah,
you can see.
I'm seeing the inspiration where everything came to. Yeah.
Yep. And here comes Lower Blighttown, which has my community's personal favorite song of the game. It also has random poison mechanic. I got immediately poisoned, but sometimes you can be in here for 40 seconds before you get poisoned.
This really is the most PS2 hallway. Like,
yeah, just cave tunnel. Yeah. But this song is like, it's kind of deceptive because right now it sounds a little like ominous, kind of like, okay, mysterious, what's going on? And then the second half is just like one of the happiest things you'll hear.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just,
yeah. I think
so
I was
cheerful.
Hearing this earlier today when you were doing some prep.
So
this song is just so different.
If anybody's got their favorite dance emote, get ready. Because this is where we always say dance emotes in the chat. Right here.
I love your flute emote. It's great.
Oh, yes. Flute emote gets a lot of use for this.
It's a good rocking pace that you have there. You know, it's pretty solid.
Perfect.
I'm glad to see the Lobos community showing up today. Y'all are great. Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for watching us here on Game Masters. Thanks for supporting my friend Lobos, too.
They would not miss a chance to emote spam for this song, Noah. I don't know why it's called Noah. Maybe, I think there's an NPC that is, hold on, let me kill this long-necked bull. There's like some NPCs you'll find that are dead here. Maybe their name was Noah. Who knows? Maybe they just made it up. But I was mentioning before, so this whole cave is like poison ground, and it's basically Blighttown. But the way the poison works is so weird. Sometimes I won't get poisoned for a minute. Sometimes I get immediately poisoned. And then the duration of the poison is also vastly variable. So they just wanted it to be random as heck, I guess. Okay, but we're out of the poison place. One thing to mention, I am running on it's kind of like a remaster of this game. They released it on PlayStation Network, so you can go get it on PSN. I believe it's not on EU PlayStation Network for some reason, but it's on NA, and you can get this and play it. It improves the frame rate. It's just as a nice, it's a little bit up-resed. It's a smooth experience, and so that's generally why I play this version.
Rest of the game basically unchanged other than that.
It's pretty much unchanged. I think there is probably a difference in the loading times.
Of course.
I think there's one
But the content
bug.
of the game is pretty consistent.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty solid. The Japanese version, I'm not super familiar with, but definitely has some changes. I know in this game, you're basically, the US version, you're basically always sprinting, whereas in the JP version, there's a ring that you use and will let you sprint. So it's slower, unless you have that ring. So luckily, we have sprinting at all times. So now, yeah, we're in another cave. I picked up a Phoenix gem. There's various gems that I've mapped out for this run to get us the spells that we need. Oh boy. And for the most part, there's a lot of the combat in this game isn't too difficult as long as you're like circling around enemies and keeping moving. You can avoid projectiles.
Oh, this guy looks scary. Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, big golem. But because we are speedrunning and not getting a whole lot of levels, there are some very scary parts of the game that we could get potentially 1-shot or 2-shot. But
I love these guys spinning their little
yeah,
whatever the guy's like, hey, come back here, oi.
Yeah, they've been waiting there for a long time for somebody to come by, but I don't stick around. That one's got a bone club.
Scary. Boy, they really hate you. All these guys.
They do.
Yes.
I don't know. They kill on sight.
What do you do?
I have no idea. I've invaded their home. Picking up a magic ring here, and then what I didn't realize until recently is there's an NPC coming up who's chilling on the log or something, and you can talk to him, and it's actually the guy from the previous cutscene with the bloody. Where he's got a bloody hand. Because there he is. He's alive. He made it.
What's he doing in here?
I don't know. We're just moving on. But we're skipping past him.
Like, you ask no questions. We got to run to finish. Like, all right. Not important.
Okay, so this area is this massive area full of floating platforms that you have to hit switches. And boy, is it just a pain in the butt. But we're going to skip it thanks to our friend Rat.
Oh, hi, Rat.
The rats have a passive state before you've attacked them, and then an active state. And so I'm going to time this with when I shoot when the elevator goes down. And I need an audio cue. One sec. Uh-oh, it didn't. Oh, it did work. Okay, good. Woof. All right. So yeah, basically, once you shoot them, they'll start running in circles kind of on their own. And when they circle around and face you and get close enough, they will do an attack leap. And the squeak that they make when they go, that's kind of the audio cue for when to drop down. And then they clips you out of bounds. So we skipped that.
Find a load zone somewhere through the black
we find the load zone into the next area. But yeah, when the rats are passive, you can control them because their turning is entirely based on your facing. So I learned that if you're facing directly away from them, they'll walk towards you. So that's how I managed to, oops, cancel this. Kind of throw them off that cliff there to where I needed them to be. Okay. So now we put a bunch of green. Reds are attack gems. So because we put them on the right, that means it's going to create an attack ring of wind element, and then the tier of the ring is based on all the power levels combined, and we'll get tornado, which is a really powerful spell. It's also a little scary because there is self-harm from spells in this. So if you walk into your own tornado, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, but we should be good. Now in this next section, it's kind of a lava area, and we get our last play of the Noah song. So dance while you can, for this will be the last. But there's still a lot of great music coming up. All right, and there is a boss in this level as well, which, I mean, assuming everything goes well, we will not fight them because we will skip past them. But let me take care of this guy real quick. He can be a little scary. Oh, never mind. He's dead. I'm gonna go melee this one. Okay. And then grab the gem this guy picked up. And what I'm gonna do in this room, I'm gonna set up these rats. So I'm actually gonna spin here on purpose because like I said, the rat's facing is based off of my heading. And there's one thing, the rats can combine into each other. They just clip into each other and then they become one super rat. And we don't want that because the clipping kind of requires them to be separate. It's weird, but they'll like stack on top of each other. And then the one that stacks on top of the other will be the one that clips you out of bounds. It's kind of bizarre, but hey, it works. So, yeah.
Hey, we take that.
We take that. We take that. We do what we can with it. There's that Noah.
I have a question from chat. Why is it called Noah? And I believe the answer is we don't know. It just is.
I have no idea.
It just is.
I think I tried to like pay attention to that on my recent 100% playthrough, and we just no idea.
Yeah, you know how a lot of times Lobos are gonna have like, you know, some celebrity that has like a very dedicated, you know, somewhat nerdy fan base, you know, something like speedrunners. You know, I'm not insulting speedrunners, but we know who we are, right? We get pretty involved in the lore and background of the game. I'm picturing like we go over to, you know, hey Miyazaki, I know you didn't even direct this game, but you know, we were wondering, me and a couple of friends, like back in 2000, Eternal Ring. There's a song, it's called Noah, and the answer why, and I could just get the response. I could just see it in my head, like, who gives a damn, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I would do with my
Noah
precious time one-on-one with FromSoft CEO. All right, this is the section of the game. Well, if you missed it, we clipped with the rats, and that was great. It all went well. This is the section where we could get bad RNG and not get what we need. So I actually need to count. Oh, that's a great start. We need 3 greens and two reds total. So now we need 2 greens and 1 red because I just got a green and a red. So I'm gonna try and keep tabs on that. This guy also uses Tornado. Okay. I need 2 greens, 1 red. Okay, I need 1 green, 1 red. These enemies will also not one-shot me entirely, but the tornado is multi-hit, and it's very dangerous. So I need to really play it safe. It's also very easy to fall off a cliff, and of course that insta-kills you, and good night. Okay, we've got all the gems we need. The RNG is insane. Holy cow. Interesting. Okay,
I'm just take full credit for that. That was all.
Yeah. Skill. We started off with bad RNG, and now we've got the insane RNG. All right, let's see. Just kill this guy. Okay. Okay.
It took me a while to figure out where the tornado was in this tornado magic, because I thought you were just like firing wind magic, but I can see it now. I can see what's.
Yeah. It's it stays where it's at, and then it multi-hits and does a lot of damage. And also, if they're stuck in it, will stun lock. But there are some weird things with this game with like depending on your stat and rings you have, it may not stun lock an enemy at all. And so it's been a real journey trying to figure out exactly what setups to use for this. Now this is a Phoenix, this is dangerous. Okay, and I need to kill the puddle here. Don't. Okay. The puddle is actually the Phoenix's health for whatever reason, and that Phoenix can one-shot us, but we did not get one-shot today. So normally our last chance for RNG would be right here with this guy, but we don't need it. Not today. We're just running through. And there's like a little load right here where everything turns black, and it's kind of scary, but we're good. Now we meet up with, maybe Noah. No, it's not.
Oh,
it's
dang.
Not Noah.
You really got my hopes up there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thanks for nothing, Lobos.
So this is also a captain, but he's been turned into his name is Matthew. There you go. He said his name is Matthew.
Oh, hey, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like slowly turning into a dragon, and this is where you really start to learn kind of what's going on, sort of. And he's explaining to you, people are turning into dragons. And it's not entirely clear why just yet, but he's a small dragon man. And by the way, if you let that audio play, it is so crunchy on his voice. And I always like bass boost it. And it's just like... It's good times.
Oh, look at this.
Now, this is a real dragon. Oh,
but was this real dragon once a person?
This Hitchcock, like, zoom, like, oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that smile. Oh my God, it's so goofy.
She has no choice. His mouth is shaped like that. And he's dead. He smiles no more.
Hurry, this way.
Hurry, this way. Who could it be? Could it be the woman we were tasked to find by the slow, boring water dragon?
The guy who was on the bench.
Could it be Lila?
Lila, you found me? How did you get here?
All right, we run through a couple loading hallways, probably. All right. And this is our first encounter with Lila,
I think that fire dragon
who's trying to help us, but also,
Lila Satin.
since I'm mashing through the dialogue mostly, we learn here that this dragon is actually her father.
Hey, I called it. Used to be a person, right? Hey?
Used to be a person, that's right. She helps us. She tries to help us anyways. She encases us in this shield, and she's basically like, nah, I'm gonna take care of this, all right? You're gonna be safe. Let's see how that goes down.
Father, it's me, Lila. Please, calm down.
Why does she have a tummy window? Come on.
That didn't work, but she did save our lives by encasing us in that magic shield.
Lila, no! Lila! I'm assuming she's dead.
No, she's fine. The dragon breathed fire at us, specifically. I guess maybe he still recognized Lila, but not us. So he had to dispatch of us. Anyways, we fall down into what is conveniently the magic laboratory where you actually access the final area in the game from. So it's convenient that he knocked us down there. But now we do our final crafting sesh for this is the one that could be RNG, but we got all the gems we need. So with tornado, level 4 gems, fire gem, lava, we will get our pretty much the best spell that we're going to use in this run, which is called Vortex. And it's got a good range. It pierces, so it can hit multiple enemies, and it's really good damage. And it recharges really quickly, so Vortex will carry us to victory. However, we're about to fight a boss, and we actually are going to use Tornado because we can stun lock it, which is always fun.
Make sure you don't get too close and end yourself.
It's true. Also, this enemy is a cockatrice, and if we get hit by its rainbow beam, it is devastating. So let's hope that we don't get hit.
Do you turn to stone?
You get slowed dramatically, yes, and then you're pretty much dead. So
hang on. This literally is just a chicken with some bonus eyeballs.
It does have bonus eyeballs, yes. Okay. See, stun lock. Okay, and we leave.
Well, GG's.
GG's. Yeah, so I've
Deep fried that chicken in record time. Sorry, go ahead.
No. As I was mentioning before, there's like some RNG with like, not RNG, but very specifics to the setup of your, like what gems you have or what rings you have and everything. And I've come through there before, and the tornado just didn't stun it at all. And I was very confused, and I died. It was horrible. But as long as you're consistently equipping the same stuff, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that stun system works entirely, but something to pay attention to. By the way, if anybody is watching this and is like, man, I would love to be a part of Eternal Ring speedruns and help find perhaps some skips for these massive unskippable cutscenes, we're always open to help. There's you can go to speedrun.com and find the Discord there. Again, people have brought the times down recently, within the last half year or to a year, and the world record is getting very close to sub 1 hour. My PB of which is an hour 4. Some recent strats have really brought the times down, so exciting. So we're in a library now, and this is mostly a little...
Well, how do you... Wait, hold on.
What's that?
Hold on. You said a library. Where are the books?
Oh, just you wait. We needed to gain access to the library by defeating the gargoyle keepers or something. That's not official. Also, look at these doors. You see the handles? And it just... Okay, that's fine. That's how doors work, I think.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
And then this is 4 double doors, right? It's like it's going to open... Oh, wait, it goes in the middle there. Okay. Never mind. It's a good time. But we're going to pick up a Ring of Sacrifice. Dark Souls players may recognize that, as that's actually a ring that does... The original Ring of Sacrifice. Yeah. It might have originated in Kingsfield. I'm not actually 100% sure on the timeline, but hey, it's there. Let's open this door in the mid... Okay, never mind.
Why? Also, what are these little fairies running around? Are they just set dressing?
Yes. Yeah, so you can kill these fairies for some drops, for some gems, but they're harmless, I think. I mean, I've never been hit by them, so.
All right, so these are the ones that open up the middle. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. So we rush up here and we hit a switch here, and then there's another side that we go hit another switch. That unlocks an elevator in the center that allows us to progress to the next area. The other side has some enemies we can take out and get some more power. One kind of interesting thing you don't see in the speedrun at all, but these gargoyles, I killed 4 of them, I think, or 3 of them. We're gonna kill some more, but they have these gems embedded in them, and if you use the same element as the color of their gem, they'll just immediately disappear. Otherwise, they actually fight back, and you have to... But I'm throwing a tornado, and the tornado will just insta-kill him. But see, he's got a yellow gem in his forehead that signifies Earth. But my tornado just...
We don't even get to see him go.
You don't get to see him. The tornado's just doing the work for us.
Bye.
Ow.
So is our goal here to make the Eternal Ring, and then it makes everything go away?
So, yeah, we'll figure out. I think. So okay, we skipped a fight with the captain, Daryl, actually. So we would have fought him, but he when you defeat him, he flies away and he says, well, he says you disgust me, and die, which is hilarious. But also, he says that he's trying to find the Eternal Ring, and he flies off. And when you see him there, he's progressed in terms of his transformation. So yeah.
I was gonna ask what our lore goal was. Like, okay, yeah, we know people are turned into dragons. Like, what is our current objective? Other than get more keys, something Eternal Ring. Yeah.
Our objective was find Lila. We found Lila. We learned about how humans are turning into dragons. Her father is a dragon now. And there's going to be a lore dump ahead when we reunite with Lila. Spoilers. And, I don't want to purely spoil it. We'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm on the edge of my seat here with this narrative.
Yes, I can imagine. But the Eternal Ring is not perhaps what it would seem to be. Am I in? Yeah, I'm in the right place.
Yeah, maybe it's not a wearable ring. Maybe it's just like a geographical feature.
That's right. It could be.
Yeah.
Okay. We finished our business in the library, which unlocks our elevator down. Another place where I've always been like, man, maybe there's a way to skip, because normally there's just a pit in the center here. If you fall down, you die, of course. But once you complete these objectives, now we can go down. But if you could find a way to survive that fall down the pit, that would be a huge time save. So who knows?
All right, chat, get to work.
Yeah, that's right. Get to work.
Get to work. What are we paying you for?
That's right.
No, we are not paying chat.
I think there's a guy dying right here. Oh, no, I don't remember. But we run past a lot of NPCs. And we skipped several areas, too. The game has a lot more to it. There's even... Oh, wait, he's right. Oh, actually, I don't know where he is. Never mind. There's a really fun part of the game that's kind of like you backtrack after being midway through. And the door, there's a locked door that you can only open if you have a light or dark spell. And then you shoot it at the door and it can open. And it's like a kind of a super dungeon where at the end there's really hard enemies and bosses, and you can get an eternal sword, which is, there's the Moonlight Sword from the From Software series has carried over across many of their games. And the Eternal Sword is basically Eternal Ring's version of the Moonlight Sword.
I love that weapon in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah. I really wanted.
Sword.
Yeah. I've wanted to make a route with the Eternal Sword, because you can get another ring right next to it, where when you melee once, it'll now do a quad attack like really fast, and that just shreds enemies. But in any case, we just kind of rudely skipped Lila's lore dump. And
I was looking forward to that cutscene.
Well, we're about to get a cutscene with an old friend, where we're going to properly receive the lore dump, and we won't be able to skip it this time.
Perfect.
But it's kind of funny. Well, it's rude, because Lila is like, it's a long story, and then you can immediately start talking to her again, or you can go touch the door, and she goes, "What? You're leaving already?" And then if you touch the door one more time, she's like, "Oh," and then like she leaves. But here we go.
That's kind of cute that they have that programmed in.
It is, yeah. That's a detail that, you know, even in games today, sometimes there is not present. But here we go. Like I said, we're going to reunite with another old friend who is, gonna tell us a story. This is the longest unskippable cutscene in the game.
Oh,
another one.
No. Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
All right, hey, everybody, if you need to take a little break, go refill your water. Now's the time to do it. But
nap time. This is actually where I usually take a bathroom break during the speedruns. But yeah, he hasn't even started talking yet. He's just saying random things. I'll try and sum it up. Essentially, at some point, magicians that lived in this ancient empire on this island attempted to create or harness the power of a god. And in doing so, they birthed this god child. But of course, the god child was too powerful. And so they had to trap it within this prison. The prison is called the Eternal Ring. Oh! Which is now it's a location you can travel into, and essentially, the people through the baby kind of freaking out and doing everything became cursed, and now turning into dragons. And he's saying right now, "I will soon forget everything." Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So, well, anyways, he's explaining some bits here and there. So.
Yeah, look at this dolly shot going across his face. Yeah.
Cinematic mastery.
Hey, for 2000, this was a big deal.
That's right. It's true.
Pay no attention to Metal Gear Solid 1.
I have told Lila to leave the island, but
so Lila is trying to save Solus, who is the baby, the god baby. Who knows nothing of empathy and will just They don't. Yeah, they don't care about life. They don't respect life. They just do what they feel like. Chaos. So Lila is trying to convince the baby that there is, different lives exist, and they should care about this and that. And we'll see more of that later. And that's where the juicy cutscenes, the best cutscenes are. But here we go. The dragon drops one final tidbit.
For you, Lil Grey, our first child of the great.
What?
We're a child of the great magician? Oh
you
my
have
gosh.
a privileged heritage? Oh my goodness.
That's right. And we didn't go over it, but he also mentioned that basically Lila is our sister. So it's like,
oh my God. Whoa.
It's like Star Wars, but not, or something.
Well, at least you didn't kiss her.
Yeah, not yet.
What do you mean, not yet?
I don't know.
What do you mean, not yet? Do you know something?
I don't know. Okay, so now we're in the Wind Tower, where we're gonna have to climb and then defeat the Wind Dragon. And as such, this is one thing that a newer route speeds up, because since we are a wind build, the Wind Dragon is resistant to wind damage. So with proper RNG, we can get a 2-cycle, but otherwise it's a little slower. So the newer routes will bring like one dark magic spell that I think can kill him in like one hit, just one spell, or 2 hits. And it is considerably faster. But I'm rocking old school, the OG route, wind any percent, and let's see, we're almost to the top here. A lot of enemies we're running past. There's harpies shooting arrows and griffins and all that. But this one's pretty straightforward, luckily. After this boss fight is the toughest skip in the game that I was practicing earlier. But we'll worry about that after we take down this dragon.
Yeah, you'll do fine. You'll do great.
Oh, you'll be fine. Okay. Tower climbed. Elevator reached. I'm gonna... The cool thing about this is this fight has stereo audio, and basically there's 4 corners to this tower, and the dragon will rise, and then he'll fly up and he'll dive bomb, and then he'll spawn at one of the random corners, and you can use the audio cue to determine where he shows up before he actually shows up. All right, if he blows wind at me, no, he didn't. Okay.
Whoa!
Oh, I think I missed him. Oh, that was actually really bad. I lost my safety ring, so let's hope I don't die. No, we'll be fine. So we can shoot him once on the way down. I think he's to my left. Yeah. Okay. So it's not going to be a 2-cycle.
Yeah, so this is Lila's dad, right?
This is not. This is a wind dragon. It was some other magician that we don't care about.
Okay. Yeah, heck of it.
The fire dragon is Lila's dad. Okay. Okay, I think he's still here. Yes. Okay, there we go. Wind dragon defeated.
Okay, that was a pretty funny animation. Just
like hinged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boss dies, drops the wind key, which you have to grab very precariously over this ledge, but we did it. So if you might have noticed, the screen flashed white. I took a hit and it one-shot me, but the Ring of Sacrifice saved me. That's what it's there for. It is nice to have the Ring of Sacrifice because it refills your health and mana to full. But we shouldn't have any mana issues with the strats that with the amount of like consumables I bring with me. So we just need to make sure not to get one shot. So now we traverse back down the wind tower and head towards our next destination, which is the snow area. I'm not sure if the areas actually have names. I don't think they do.
Well, we have to give them names so we know what we're talking about. I imagine snow is present and ice. And
That is
other
true,
winter-related things, maybe even a Christmas tree. Who knows?
Maybe even abominable snowmen.
Oh, that'd be
And then-
awesome. If there's
Yeah.
abominable snowman in this game, I'm playing it next week.
Well, we'll see, I guess. There's also griffins and harpies, and there's a wolf man who wants to talk to us, but there is a little trigger here that starts a dialogue, but if I hug the right like that, now he doesn't talk to us. So that saves having to mash through some dialogue. He's also a very slow talker, but that's okay. All right, so this is a huge skip, but kind of annoying to pull off. We're going to use this griffin who has this charge attack, and we're going to lure him over to this cave. And I'm going to try and line him up and use his charge to clip me out of bounds with some precise positioning. Let's see here. There we go. First try, easy.
Wow,
So,
good work.
Now we're out of bounds, and basically this area, it's kind of like a big crescent shape, and you would normally have to go through a whole bunch of different areas, and eventually there's like a little dead end, and you reach a room that has this chest in it, and that's where we get the Earth Key. We don't actually have to fight a boss for the Earth Key. But now we just clipped out of bounds. We run directly to the chest, and now we're going to run directly to the exit of the level, and that saves us a lot of time. Funny enough, I think grabbing the Earth Key updates the location of the wolf man that was talking to us before, and so we can see him here on our way out. Goodbye, buddy. And with that, we have all 4 of the required keys to reach the inner sanctum, to enter the eternal ring. And luckily, they give us a little teleporter just to get back to where we need to be. There's one part of this game, right after the lore dump that we skipped with Lila, that they give you this teleporter, and it takes you like all the way back to the beginning of the game. And with no map, it's very easy to just get lost and be like, oh, I have to go through the entire game to re-reach that spot again. And so you try to do that, and then you reach the lava area where Lila's dad knocked us down, and you can't proceed there. So you actually have to find that teleporter again. And I know I was watching someone play it for the first time, and that had happened, and it added hours and hours to their playthrough. So if you're going to play this, make sure if you go through a teleporter, you know where you're at. Remember where those teleporters are.
Or just never go through them.
Or just never go through. I mean, you have to go through some teleporters. Like, you know, in order to do the crafting, you teleport to a little craft place. And there's some other required ones, but it's tricky. In any case, we have now placed all 4 keys into these pedestals, which grants us access. Again, this is another thing. If anybody wanted to find some skips, you reach this area in the middle of the game. You could just drop down here, but there is a kill box. And so if there was some way to avoid that, that would save
flipping past the kill plate.
Like 20 minutes.
Maybe there's a hole in it. Who knows?
Now. And here we are, we're taking this little, I think that what's happening here is we have naturally found where we usually teleport to in order to upgrade or craft our rings. So now we're taking this little platform across, and here we are. We're in like the real world location.
Oh my gosh, just like in Bloodborne.
Yes. Exactly. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
The workshop, yeah.
The workshop,
the real
or like
one
the round table.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But we have an extended chat with him, and now the teleporter that's behind me takes us into the Eternal Ring, and we get to see this wonderful piece of art, masterpiece cutscene.
No matter how many times I listen, it's no use. I can't understand what I can't understand. Let's talk about this.
So how did Lila get in here?
Tomorrow.
I don't know, but she just does.
Let's talk about other stuff.
Let's talk. Oh my god.
This is definitely just an employee's child that came in to record some voice lines. So she's trying to teach the baby empathy here.
It will be gone if it dies because you hurt it, right? Won't you be sad?
There are many seabirds that can be used as replacements for that baby bird.
This is
Also, the music in the background, it just grows increasingly eclectic, and
They're different ones.
they're talking about
it's
baby
all
birds.
over the place.
I understand what you're trying to say, Lila, but so what? You don't need feelings. It just makes you and other people unstable.
Wow.
Huh?
Eh?
Looks like someone's here.
I wonder if it's him.
Do you think that child VA got paid?
Listen,
Or is it like
There's
coming
no
to
way.
work?
I was curious, like, I want to know where that child is today. So I could, like, praise them for being the baby in Eternal
Talk
Ring.
about the baby
How we need to find him, get him on the show.
bird.
Yeah.
Still,
Okay, so baby says, someone's here. And Lila goes, oh, I wonder if it's him, referring to us, I think.
Okay, Lila?
She's going to come see,
Boring here.
come meet with us, and we'll have a chat. But we need to run there
Why does this
first.
look like a boss arena that we're in?
Oh, what are you saying? That's no.
It's a large circular room with a mysterious magic wall and
It's
an
just
object in
a-
the middle, okay?
A prison. It's just an eternal ring, an eternal prison, okay?
Oh, this is
and it's
Demon's
breaking apart.
Ruins. Let's go.
Basically.
Yeah.
So this is a big, like, Rainbow Road style area with a bunch of overlapping bridges. We're just going to drop off most of them and skip a lot of it this way. Yeah, the legs. It's got to hurt, There's some range guys that can hit us with spells, but they can curse us, but it doesn't really affect us. Like, I might be cursed. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe the baby's gonna grow up and become friends. Surely,
Maybe.
in this
Maybe.
RPG themed around killing things, you're not gonna have to kill God, right? Or God
Who
baby.
knows? Who knows what'll happen? Who knows? This is the second. There's one more of these areas, and then we'll meet up with Lila. We are reaching near the end of the game at this point. This will be the last section. 2 boss fights to be had. Oh, whoops. I should pay attention because
Yeah, okay. Are there any enemies in this area at all?
There are the hold on, 1 second. Left, right, left. Okay. I'm just making sure. Okay, good.
Oh. Did a lot less fall damage than I expected.
Yeah, right? That's a heck of a fall. Lila, oh no.
Oh.
Is she sleeping?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
Wait. Or is she turning into a dragon?
what happened? She
Also,
came to meet us, but
where's the captain?
where is the captain?
Oh my god!
Oh, he killed Lila. And now we have to fight the captain, who is in his, I guess, final form or something. And this fight is actually dangerous because, as I mentioned before, my safety net is gone. So if he hits me once, I'm dead. So let's not let that happen, please. Again, spin strats. If I get within melee range, he will fly up and do scary things, so I don't want to do that. That's why I'm not hitting him with my sword. I think. Okay. Oh, I still got magic stones. There we go. Okay. Good. It's. I have like you have to have like ultra claw builds when fighting this boss. Okay, we got him. Nice. Okay. It's very good. Okay. Now, one boss remains.
But
why would we,
baby?
why would we fight the baby?
When we could fight the fire.
What did we do?
Hey, you. I see you.
Wow.
What?
We didn't do anything to Lila, baby.
She was talking to you.
Okay.
Then she stopped moving.
Okay, I get how this looks.
Why? What happened to Lila? Let me out.
All right, this is a very dangerous fight. Actually, I need to wait for him to... Okay, once this spell dissipates, we should be pretty safe. Okay.
Looks like
So
we're
one of
just
the-
fighting like a monkey ball character.
Basically, yeah. So all of these balls can shoot projectiles. We want to just keep moving. We can get nicked by them pretty easily, but they won't one shot. Final boss is also weak to physical. I need to equip these because I ran out. Okay, good. So the more we can stab it, the faster it'll die. Okay. I think we killed all of the other balls. So there's a bug on the PS4 version. Oh, get ready for time. Get ready for time. Should die pretty quickly.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on, baby.
Baby. There it goes. It's it. Time.
Hey, GG's.
GG's.
Now is it?
That was it. That's
Dead, or
very-
do you teach it a lesson? And now
There
it's
is
going good.
There's one cutscene to watch that I highly recommend because
Let's watch it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's please. But there's a bug on the remastered version where if he uses that ball lightning that I was waiting for to dissipate, then he doesn't cast any more spells. Otherwise, he has this AoE lightning strike that will one-shot us. But it allows us to kill him a bit faster that way too.
Here, you may return to where time exists. Your job here is done.
So time does not exist in the Eternal Ring prison for this god baby. Understandable. And this peanut-shaped baby is chilling in his bowl over here.
Yeah.
Spoilers, he's not dead.
It's not vaporized.
He's not dead. We're going back home.
Just gonna leave him?
Yeah, we're leaving him. We did what we came here to do at this point, which is halt the baby from destroying everything. Because he was trying to break out of the prison and he was basically destroying everything. Oh, here we go. Baby comes too.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
I think we need a Lila count in chat.
This has never happened to me before.
Just keep
lost
track of
Impossible.
how many times baby says Lila. I believe in you, chat.
Lila? I know I can ask Lila. Lila?
All right, baby's gonna find Lila. Waiting.
Lila? Lila?
Lila.
Lila?
I think baby is going to learn a harsh
Lila,
lesson.
You're not moving. Please wake up now. Hey, Lila. Come on,
We're
Lila.
at 6. Oh, that's
How long have you been lying
7, I
there?
suppose.
I got out all by myself. Will you tell me about the baby birds? Oh, I get it. I'm outside now. Let's go
kind of sad.
It is sad. It's sad, and that's the whole point.
It's really sad.
It's it would be sadder if it was done a little more sadly. But it's an important lesson. He said he didn't care about the baby birds. They'll just be replaced by other baby birds, right? And now they're Lila.
There will be no other Lila.
There will be no other.
Please, Lila.
All right, I lost count.
And here we go. Now God Baby understands
I get it.
and is now God.
Oh, wait. God Baby turned into God Man.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. Just the way they pitch the voice down, it's so good. This is death. And there you have it. There is some more lore here. It's
A few days
It's
later,
pretty quick.
Cain Morgan returned to the Hungarian royal palace.
Yeah, we return home.
King Ian, who had heard rumors of the unusual changes on the island of no return, asked Cain what he had seen.
The island of no return. That's what they called them.
The names are fantastic.
Including its leader, Daryl, had been annihilated.
Annihilated. Daryl, that was the captain.
Daryl, who was also
Yeah,
the
just
leader of
Daryl.
the Knights, stirred up controversy throughout
Also the
kingdom.
leader of the Knights, apparently.
It was the
Okay.
opinion of
Yeah.
many that the elders should take responsibility for his death.
Ah, the elders.
And through this wave of popular sentiment, the people who were loyal
I'm sure
to King
we
Ian
knew all
were
about
able
King
to regain
Ian
a
and
great measure
All
of
about
strength.
him.
Yeah.
Eventually, Hungarian rule was returned to the king. Once things had settled down, Cain Morgan departed for an unknown destination.
Unknown.
But a few years later,
Wait,
he
sequel
returned to
setup right
Hungary,
here?
accompanied
Maybe.
by a man of unknown identity.
Unknown identity.
King Ian welcomed Cain's return.
Who could that
giving him
be?
A new position as head of his retinue.
Who's that
And as
peanut-headed
Cain requested,
shaped
the king treated the
individual?
man of unknown identity as one of his vassals. The man remained loyal to King Ian, and the ruler's name is now recorded in history as that of a skillful and compassionate leader.
I think that was the baby.
The man who had arrived in Hungaria with Cain left following the death of King Ian, but it is said that time itself, not even the passing of decades, could change his appearance.
That was the baby.
That was the baby. Oh my gosh.
And
Well-
thus, the prequel for Elden Ring is set. And now Elden Ring can tell its story about something similar.
So, something happened in
yeah,
that game.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
has-
that's it. Eternal Ring. The game itself is a wonderful 15-ish hour casual play jaunt with, experimenting with crafting magic rings. There's many more areas I skipped. But I just love playing through this game and enjoying its cutscenes and the little quirks of its gameplay. And I'm happy to have done it for GDQ because I think this is the first time it's been on GDQ, on any GDQ thing. So
Yeah, and thank
happy
you
to
so
bring
much
it.
for coming on to showcase it. I really appreciate it. I hope you had
Absolutely.
fun.
I did.
I do have a soft spot for a lot of these like older, localized Japanese games where they didn't have a big budget for, professional high-end voice
Yeah.
actors who
Oh,
are
yeah.
really, really, really good. But like, it's charming in its own way to have this. Like a recent one I played, Symphony of the Night.
Oh, yes.
So I had I actually bought the a remake version on like PS4 or something.
Okay.
And apparently, I did not know this. They re-recorded all of the voice acting.
Oh,
So I was like,
man.
no, I can't let my first Soten experience be this. I gotta go back to the OG.
Oh, yeah, I feel that.
And get the classic lines. I'm interested in this, that kind of stuff. But it's charming. It's really charming in its own way. And I do kind of miss that era because like it's pretty rare to have a game with voice acting like this, at
Like
least now.
this. Yeah, for sure.
And like, I just really appreciate it. Like the original Silent Hill game was another great one.
Yeah,
just
all the
just
awkward
classic,
pauses and-
classic voice acting in a lot of these. But yeah, Lobos, thank you so much for coming on and
Absolutely.
showcasing.
Thanks for having me here, Kiara.
Of course.
And
of
again,
course.
beautiful dress. Big fan
Oh, thank
of
you.
it. Looks great.
Yeah, I just showed this off last Saturday, so
nice.
Had a whole fun debut for it as VTubers do. But before we part, we do have some more Game Masters coming up after a short little break here. But Lobos, before we say goodbye, I want you to give an opportunity to shout yourself out, talk about like any projects you're working on. I know you've been doing something a little ridiculous. That is Dark Souls 2 randomizer permadeath. Is that a project you're going to keep on going through on?
That's a thing. Here and there. So I'm Lobos Jr. I stream here on Twitch. I stream on YouTube as well and just post my VODs there. Do a lot of Soul stuff, challenge runs, kind of speed runs here and there. Coming up, though, month of May, the entire month, we fundraise for St. Jude. So we're going to do a whole bunch of ridiculous runs of Souls games and, of course, Night Rain once that comes out. So that's what I'm really focused on right now. And, yes, those randomizer runs are wonderful, wonderful pain. It's just
for sure. Dark Souls 2 is not high up on my list of From Software titles, I will say. So I admire the dedication to go through and do it deathless randomizer. Like,
yeah.
Because Dark Souls 2, like Dark Souls 1, I can see it's in the grand scheme of things a relatively small game. I don't think there's any like too many like run-ending bosses. Like obviously you have ONS and you mess up on Gwen and you're done, right? But
yeah, for sure. I'll tell you,
Dark Souls 2 has just so much, and there's like so many ways to just like fall off cliffs.
Yes, I was going to say gravity is the number one enemy, really. So
I remember that when I played it, just like how many times like an enemy's just gonna. Dark Souls 2 is like the game where it's like, okay, what if we did Dark Souls 1, but instead of having an enemy around most corners, we put an enemy around like literally every single corner.
There are a lot of enemies.
Every place an enemy can be, they put an enemy there. Yeah, so
randomizer's a fun time for sure.
For sure, yeah. So everybody, make sure you go follow Lobos Jr. There's a pinned message in chat with a link to his Twitch stream. And, although we do have to say goodbye, I want to thank you again for coming on. Chat, type 1 if you enjoyed the Eternal Ring speedrun. I know I did. God, again, I'm so happy to enjoy watching these cutscenes. Like, as soon as Lobos told me, like, yeah, we can't skip the cutscenes, they're unskippable, I just was glowing. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want. I want to see all of these. Don't make an incentive. Just like, yeah, it's just part of the run to do that. Look at all
happy to share it with you guys.
So everybody, we're going to go into our first break of the evening. It's going to be our last break tonight as well. But if you missed out on any of our Hotfix shows or past events, so if you came in late to this run, in a little bit of time, it's going to be up on our YouTube channel. So visit and subscribe at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. Also, I'd like to remind you that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support the GDQ Hotfix. So if you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes, have ad-free viewing, and chat with other subscribers during our replays. We're going to go into a brief break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from the break. Once again, I am Kiara_TV, and you're watching Game Masters here on the GDQ Hotfix. I want to remind everyone to join the official GDQ Discord if you haven't already done so, and add the Hotfix role, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord in Twitch chat for more information. Also, you can go to GamesDoneQuick.com/hotfix to check out this season's lineup and check out the schedules for an in-depth look at this week's run. So if you enjoyed Eternal Ring, I'm sure that's that's a very silly game. Absolutely loved it. And the FF7 series has a whole lot of silliness to it, and we're going to be seeing one of the sillier runs of it. We're going through the FF7 remake DLC, the Yuffie DLC, Frog's Percents, which I remember getting frogged in this game, and it was not a pleasant time. I couldn't do anything. But VXC is going to bring us this run. So VXC, what is Frog's Percent? How does this run work? What's going on here?
So we have this item called the Enfeeblement Ring, and that turns us into a frog in battle. Unfortunately, it does not turn us into a frog out of battle, but that limits a lot of what we can do, all of our abilities. This is obviously in the game, so this is an intended challenge that the developers put into the game. So it's basically going through and beating the game on very limited resources, and in particular, using a lot of items.
I love that. Is like part of the challenge you got to figure out how to like de-status you every time, or is it like,
oh no,
you're just a frog the entire time?
Yeah, we are frogs in every single battle.
My goodness.
Yeah.
This is gonna be great. I love it. Love it already.
Alrighty. So are we good to go, or?
Yeah, VXC, whenever you are ready, you can go ahead and like get us into the starts, and we just give us like a countdown from 5, and off we go.
Oh yeah.
We also have generically named here in the call to help us out with some comms. How's it going?
Yes. Hi. I run this game. Yeah. Generically named. I've run this game any % normal. I'm mostly here to explain just base games like mechanics.
Things that aren't frogs. All right. So since you can only do this in New Game Plus, so we had to do this from chapter selection, and we're going to do this on easy. This would probably be impossible on hard, and normal would be a lot more just item rationing, so not as interesting. So, all right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, ribbit. All right.
All right, you caught me off guard, Vix.
All right, so here's Yuffie. She's not a frog. That's really disappointing, right?
It is really disappointing.
All right. And now she is one. All right, so we're going to see if we can get a double hit here. Where's the other rat? Okay, they went super far. Oh, okay, so that's the thing I have to... That happened really early on. That's good. Leapfrog can just whiff. This is her basic ATB attack, Leapfrog, where she jumps in the air like that. It can just whiff completely, point blank. So that's something we just kind of have to accept. Whole Serenity player. Accept the things you can control and the things you can't, things like that, whatever. But we're going to be using that throughout most of this intro section. But this next fight we have right here is going to have a flying enemy. Oh no, I got the bad pulley.
How do you frog that? Yeah.
We hope it doesn't go high enough. So we're gonna hit it immediately. All right, cool, we're good. So, we had bad ATB though.
Then there's also the 2 rats.
Yeah, the rats aren't as a problem. Oh, no, not a double. I was so excited because they were like super positioned. Leapfrog does have like an AoE, but it's about as inconsistent as its entire hitbox. All right.
I really love how the frog has a bunch of like Yuffie's characteristics on it, like every character does in the game.
Yeah. Has the shuriken, has the Naruto headband thing. It's great. So this is a save load. This is actually slower real time for my PC. It does save time on PS5, but it'll lower this. Whoa, camera? That was weird. It'll lower this elevator right here. For PC, we do in-game time. Shout out to the devs who set that up for us. Just to make it fair, because PCs are different. And let's see if this one on... Oh, he's not running away. That's great. And I got a double. Let's go.
That was insanely good RG.
Now we're off to a good start here.
Yeah. So now I have to explain something really big. So I mentioned earlier, we're going to be using a lot of items in this run. And the main item we're going to be using is called the Big Bomber. We have 99 of those.
Wait, how? How did you get the... Oh, New Game Plus.
Yeah, New Game Plus. You can only get them in the Yuffie DLC by farming one of the fights in the combat simulator at the start of Chapter 2. It is a random drop. I had 70 a month ago. Every reroute usually involves throwing more of them, so I farmed another 29 to get to the max number, and that took me a little over 5 hours. So that was fun.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But we're going to be using these on this next fight right away, because one of the things they do is they stagger enemies, and we have an ATB called ATB Stagger that'll give us ATB whenever we stagger an enemy.
I'm seeing the way this works. Oh, there we go.
All right, so we just
imagine one of the biggest struggles with frogs is generating ATB.
Yeah, a little bit. Thankfully, we have the first strike materia equipped, which is what guarantees us ATB at the start of every battle. But it's still random how much ATB you get at the beginning of every battle.
No, I thought that was true.
Yeah.
I never understood. Makes sense.
Yeah, enemy positioning is random, enemy actions are random, and ATB is random. So that's always fun. But yeah, so we staggered those enemies. Generic, can you explain staggering, please?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of the basis of the combat in this game, really. Every enemy has a little stagger bar on the bottom. Look out for it. It's like the yellow bar either directly above or below their HP. What you generally need to do is you need to pressure an enemy. And when they're pressured, the stagger bar will fill up much faster. Otherwise, it just kind of fills up per damage. Mm-hmm. And in this run, you use the big bombers are the main thing that will pressure enemies. And then usually a second one, or it looks like leapfrog, that will like fill up the bar. And then when it's full, they take 160 extra damage, or they take 60% extra damage.
Yeah.
So 160, my bad.
Yeah, so yeah, it says 160% above each of the enemies whenever we stagger them. So we want to deal most of our damage when they are in that staggered state. And thankfully, when they are in that staggered state, they just stay immobile no matter what you do, and they won't attack back, usually. So we're about to talk to 3 members of Avalanche, which are not those 3 people in front of us.
The other 3. Yeah. I like that bait and switch.
Yeah. So the first guy we're going to talk to is named Polk, and he's going to teach us about Fort Condor.
I have thoughts, BXC. You see me play through these games. You know I have thoughts on Fort Condor.
Fort Condor is great. It's a run killer in new game categories because it's dependent on whatever hand you get. But this is New Game Plus, so it's going to go a little bit different.
I was so ready to talk about the RNG in this, but we're going to see a much simpler fight right now. There we go.
Wait. What happened? What happened? What did you do?
Yeah, in New Game Plus, if you do all the Fort Condor side quests, you get better boards, and that one has 2 spells. This is Billy Bob, by the way. And on easy, you only have to beat the middle tower to finish the minigame. And on easy, it takes 2 spells. On hard, it takes 3 spells. So we don't actually play the game, we just cast magic and we move on. If you notice, we also went horizontal there. That actually saves less than a second if you do it properly, because the cursor just moves faster horizontally for whatever reason. So, micro optimizations, let's go.
Another little tidbit, he's fast forwarding through this cutscene right now. That was added like a month ago, about?
It was added whenever...
a rebirth patch, and then they added it to remakes.
Yeah, it might be a month or 2 ago. That's when basically they added it. It saves like 90 seconds to 2 minutes in the Yuffie DLC. And so there's a lot of free PBs to go around for anyone who did the run before.
The biggest thing is pretty much every boss has a mid-fight cutscene, or 2 or 3. Intermission actually has one of the longest with the final boss, and you can fast forward during those. So as he said, lots of free time and everyone's PBs.
Yeah. Yeah, and for all this dialogue, I get to do fun hand things. To fast forward, you have to hold the right trigger, but you can mash through dialogue with 2 buttons. So I'm like mashing with my thumb and left index finger while holding the right trigger. It's great.
The classic claw.
Yeah.
Hey, don't hurt yourself.
Oh yeah, it's so much better now that we can fast forward, even though we're holding the controller weirder. Yeah. It's significantly shorter. Oops. Right. Oh, this is Sonon, by the way. So he's our one partner that we get in the Yuffie DLC. We can only tell him to do things. We can't take control of him. But he will also be a frog. I'm going to go for this. We're not going to get it.
You're going to try and get pushed?
Yeah, this position's actually really good. I've never gotten this, though. Oh, yeah, no way.
Oh, close.
So you can get, this is Nio here, you can get her to push you and a little forward, and you can stay in front of her. If you can stay in front of her the whole time, you'll save like 2 seconds maybe. The next cutscene we see will trigger based off Yuffie's position.
There's a lot of walk and talks in these remake games, and you're always stuck to like the NPC speed. But if you're in front of them, it's just like ever so mildly faster because they push you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure I have this exact skirt in my wardrobe that I was wearing.
Do you have the double suspender belt thingy?
Not that part, just this the skirt part, okay? Though it's a very strange outfit, right? Because it's like, it's a very short crop top, and then you got the suspenders coming down the back, where it's like just, they took a t-shirt, cut off the top, then added that on. It's strange. I mean, it's a JRPG, right? You gotta have some extra outfits. This is definitely one of them.
Right, so another cutscene's coming up. So we're going to tell Sonon to do a bunch of things. Both Yuffie and Sonon have the same abilities attached to their quick menu, which is Leapfrog, a Big Bomber, an item called Celeris, which gives you haste, and an item called the Orb of Gravity. So the Orb of Gravity does 25% of a current enemy's HP. That's like your standard damage or gravity spell that you might see in older Final Fantasies. But Sonon has a materia equipped called Item Master, and that increases the potency of items by 50%. So instead of 25%, that becomes 37.5%. And here's one more safe load. I might be early, actually.
I believe that door does have to open.
She just needs to reach for it. Yeah, that was early. We can do it again. I want to get this right. All right.
This time for sure.
Yeah.
The same thing where you're walking and listening to dialogue, but if you save and load, it just doesn't do the dialogue, so they run a little faster.
Yeah, and now, because we've ended the conversation, we're in just footsteps. On top of just moving Nio forward, it also lets us talk to her immediately once we get here. So now we have Don Corneo's lackeys here. We're going to throw an orb at Sonon right at the start and hope it hits, but they can move around a lot. It's pretty random what we can get, but that's the fun part of this.
Gosh, I am such a fan of Yuffie's VA. It really fits the character.
Okay. Beautiful.
Oh, that was great.
Okay, that's actually fine.
That was staggered.
Yeah, that was one of the best lackeys I've ever had.
I like how they all just get up. Like, it's like you kick their butt, they stay down, and it's like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah, so we throw the Orbit Sonon there. We hope it hits. It puts them into a pressured state. You'll see pressured in orange text under them, and that lets our big bombers that we throw with Yuffie stagger them immediately. So that triggers ATB stagger then. And we're just lucky that the orb hit all 3 of them, which I don't think I've ever gotten. All right. But we have a little bit more running section here.
Yeah, that's a really good, really nice. That's never happened before here on Game Masters, so... Living up to the name right here. Yeah, I for one love walk and talk sections. So.
Yeah, this one's a little faster. This is a jog and talk, actually.
Jog and talk. Yeah, this is a brisk pace. I would call this a run.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to the next cutscene, and then a banger of a music track is gonna start. But that's actually a great time to explain a couple other things we have equipped. So we have a lot of HP, if you notice in the bottom right. So that's that. So we have a bunch of HP materia equipped. We can't get Yuffie up to max because there's a lot more useful things we can put on her. One of which is the elemental materia. So Elemental adds whatever element is linked to it. So right now it's ice. So a lot of enemies in this early part of the game are weak to ice, and will do super effective damage to it. To enemies weak to ice. It also just increases her damage in general, even if it's just neutral. And it also scales off magic. So we also have a magic up equipped to Yuffie, even though she's not casting any magic spells. But that only increases her damage like 4%-ish, maybe. We also have a materia called ATB Assist, which whenever Yuffie uses 2 ATB abilities, that'll give Sonon ATB. And then we have a materia called Skill Master, which whenever Yuffie uses 3 different ATB abilities, she gets back a bar of ATB. So there's a lot of ATB maintenance that we have to do in this run, and just in Yuffie runs in general.
Yeah, this song it just goes so hard.
All right, 2 soldiers here. The one on the right has only like 300 HP. Oh, and we got good ATB. Let's go. All right. Do I need to be a gamer? Not really. I can just wait.
So you can throw the shuriken between them too. Yeah, you can throw it in between the boxes if you time it right. But if you don't time it right, you get the tutorial of shame.
Oh, no.
Yeah. New Game Plus, we don't have to worry about that, but it still feels bad. Yo, let's go. We got the stumble. That stumble probably saves time. Otherwise, she's just walking longer, but it moves her forward pretty fast. So this is the first little auto-scroller. We just kind of have to wait here until we reach the other side.
Oh, and they give you like boxes to take out to fill time, right?
Yeah, you can break them. You can get like high potions, but you can see what we have a lot of items already.
I think you're set. I think you are probably good.
Yeah, there's one box later on that I do want to break. It has extra Celeris in it, which I'm just going to get for safety, but I probably won't need it. But yeah, next fight is the Horned Cripshay. We're going to throw a bomber with Sonon first, and then with Yuffie. And the first bomber will put into pressured state. The second one will let us stagger it, but it's going to either charge at us or throw a ball of poison at us. And we just need to see what it does first. Okay, we got the charge. So bomber 1, bomber 2, it's staggered. Now we can just wail on it. All right. So that was pretty clean. And then we have 2 more soldiers coming up here. And once again, the one on the right is going to have like no HP. But bad ATB this time. All right. So the next fight coming up is the enemy is called the Wrathhound. It has almost 12,000 HP. If you've been paying attention to the numbers, Leapfrog does like 1,000. Bombers do 500. We're going to be using Orbs of Gravity on it. And y'all are getting some fresh tech. I redid the strat for this morning, so this is brand new.
Wow. Brand new tech. Surely nothing will go wrong.
Well, the old strat was really RNG dependent, so this one is a lot safer and just much more consistent and might actually be faster. All right, so we need 2. Yeah, we need 2 ATB with Yuffie, and then we're just going to wait for it to run around in a circle. Now we're going to throw 2 bombers. That's going to put it into a pressure state. We're going to throw an orb with Sonon, stagger it. That does 6,000. Another orb. This is going to do 2,000, and then we can just leapfrog it.
Wow, that was pretty clean.
Yeah. That was bad ATB on Sonon, so I'm glad that still worked out. And this saves 2 seconds. All right, I'm glad that strat. That strat is so much better. We used to just throw an orb of gravity at the start. If you notice, it runs around. So you're just kind of praying the orb hits if you do that. All right, 2 wolves. Orb Bomb 1, Bomb 2. You didn't get hit, and you're just standing there very strangely.
Yeah, are these the same bombs as the Air Buster from base game? Is that what these are supposed to be?
Yes, these are the bombs you'd get from Air Buster. I never actually understood that part of the game and what it wanted me to do when I played through it, to be perfectly honest. But yes, this is just a little hit switch, climb fences.
But I can't give you the Air Buster lore.
Let's go.
The M units just give you items. The finger lasers prevent, or the auto targeting or whatever, does less finger lasers. And reducing its big bombers does absolutely nothing. Because it only shoots them when it finger lasers you.
Wait, really? Wait, so you mean I waste my time getting rid of the big bombers? Like, it didn't do anything?
It might reduce the damage, but I'm fairly certain it does nothing.
Wow, I got scammed. Game scammed me. What the heck, Square?
All right, so that's the Levercron. It's an ostrich. We were very nice to it. And now we have the one non-save load menu in the game that I'm going to make sure I do, because if I don't, it's like a massive time loss for this next fight. All right, we successfully switched to lightning materia. And as a reward, we get a 2-minute, 20-second auto-scroller. So how are y'all doing tonight?
Doing good. Said you could farm your high potions here, but as we pointed out the last time, you kind of set. Those big boxes give you the good items, but you probably have 99 of those as well.
I don't have 99 elixirs, but I can assure you we will not be using 46 of them. But yeah, this is a good time to explain. I'm going to go ahead and start explaining the next fight since we have a lot of time. So the next fight is the Gigantipede. That is the final boss of Chapter 1. This DLC is only 2 chapters, but it is a giant worm thing, and it takes a long time to get through it because there's a lot of stuff where a lot of period of times where you can't just do anything. But it is weak to lightning materia. Most of the enemies from now on are going to be weak to lightning materia. A good rule of thumb for this game is monsters are weak to ice, machines are weak to lightning, and humans are weak to fire, and then flying things are weak to wind. That seems to be mostly consistent. There's a bunch of exceptions, particularly among special enemies. But that combined with a materia called parry lets us stagger it very fast. So when Yuffie parries, she will jump in the air and do a barrel roll as a frog. We actually used that in a couple fights already. It's super cool movement tech in the base game. Generic, do you want to explain that? Parry sailing? I'm not...
Well, in the base game, when you block, you'll usually be able to cancel any animation you're doing. So when you're attacking, you can interrupt all the end lag. And I assume parasailing, I guess I'm not remember the term. That's when you're just dodge rolling really quickly.
It's the Tifa one. So Tifa's parry.
Oh, yeah, the Tifa one especially. I was thinking Yuffie terms, but yeah. Yeah, Tifa will slide on the ground and you can cancel that and zoom around really fast in battle. So that's going to be super important for Gigantipede. The other thing is a very particular programming thing they did. In the first part of the fight, Gigantipede just takes double damage from big bombers. So 500 becomes I don't know. Also, shout outs to Clara the Classy. I learned a lot of tech from this run. They're the ones who first did Yuffie Frog runs, as far as I know, and I watched their runs and learned a lot of tech, especially for this fight in particular. And then when I got to it, I just got more bombers and did a lot of optimizations. So there's actually 2 people who have run this, as far as I know.
Exclusive club.
I think of the first person for remakes Frog percent.
Right. So we're going to throw a bomber with both Yuffie and Sonon right at the start here. and that's going to put it into a pressured state, and then we're just going to parry, and that orange bar is going up really fast. We have to wait for it to land, and then we can just throw bombs at it. We have to wait the stagger out anyway. So look at those numbers. And we've hit the damage gate, so we have nothing to do anymore. So this is the frog dodge. Fancy.
What about that Y button?
This is the Y button. I've hit the button exactly once. It is not particularly... Yeah, this is not particularly useful. The biggest one does the most damage. We will never use that again in this run. This is what she looks like when she's guarding. And this is the parry. And this is the attack string. So lick and... Whoops. Lick, barrel roll, Tatsumaki. So yeah. So that's the frog. That's all the frog tech, basically. So we're going to just see a phase that we normally don't see in Yuffie speedruns, which is we're going to have to defeat all the drones individually. Normally you can just... there we go. I want A.
Yeah, a windstorm right there kills them all, but can't do that as a frog.
Yeah. Ooh, cool. Sonon got a hit. So right now we're doing just the lick. I'm holding guard and trying to guard cancel all of these attacks so that I get the lick every single time. But these drones are way too high for anything, even though they have no HP. All right. So it's going to sweep down and land. We're going to do a specific thing so that we start the final phase really nice. We're going to hit it with a bomber from both Sonon and Yuffie, and that's going to put it into a pressured state. Ooh, cool. He was close. Then we're going to parry once and then throw one more bomber to trigger ATB stagger. Also, I forgot to do something, but that's fine. There's one more thing I added this morning, but it's going to be fine regardless. So now we don't do double damage, but bombers do fill up the pressure bar a lot. So we're going to throw the bombers right at the start again. And then I'm going to run up to this leg and just rub against it. And you can see that orange bar filling up. That missed. Oops. So I need to go back.
It could be read many different ways. I'm not going to go into, but I just want to say this is very strange that the frog has this ability.
All right, and that's Gigantipede. So who would win, a giant mechanical centipede or two little frogs? You know your answer.
I will bet on the frogs every time.
Alrighty, so this is the end of chapter 1. So if you want to play more Fort Condor, this is your last chance.
VXE, I think I'm good. I'll just say, I think I'm okay to not proceed.
Or it's like this guy gives you a side quest as you're leaving.
I heard the happy turtle somewhere. That guy's great. I love how quirky these games maintain. I think there's a little bit of a worry from a lot of people. It's, the original FF7 is such a silly game. It has its serious moments, of course. It doesn't treat its plot lightly, but there's like so many silly moments, silly NPCs, cutscenes, dialogue, everything. And I'm really happy to see them kind of lean into that for these remake games. And just, not shy away from the silliness that is Final Fantasy VII.
Anyway, we're in the Shinra basement now. This is the combat simulator, so if you want to do this run, you need to get those enfeeblement rings from that. If you actually do want to do this run and you're playing on PC, I have a save that you could just download and copy into your folder. PS5, apparently, that does not work. It's on speedrun.com on the remake page, or you can get it from the Discord if you want to join our Discord.
So I do not have to spend 20 hours farming big bombers.
Yeah. Anyway, real quick, you notice these machines? Look, a different looking one. Whatever could that mean?
Oh my gosh.
You can also see two slug rays up there. Those little crab looking things. So that's going to be our next fight.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, we just have to wait for this conversation to end.
Yeah, I can't believe this large circular room ended up being a fight room. Yeah.
Yeah, weird design choice, right?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like when chest high walls just randomly seem to pop up everywhere.
Right, so we're gonna throw a bomb first and then start parrying it. And we're gonna get an orb down with Sonon. So Slug Rays also will, okay, cool. They will stagger if you hit them with a big bomber. So we're gonna take advantage of that. There's actually Slug Ray up there. The orange one is called a Shock Ray. There's also another pair over there. There's also 2 more in the back. So Slug Rays are annoying. They will shoot us with a laser that will stun us if we get hit. We can try and parry through it, but it doesn't always work. The Shock Rays, the orange ones, will yoink themselves over to a Slug Ray and give them a shield, but the shield doesn't really do anything as far as I know. It won't matter for whatever we do. But this fight is kind of miserable in all categories, but more so in frogs. We just need to take them out one at a time, but we're going to take advantage of ATB stagger here a lot. So if I hit a... Yes. Okay, cool. All right, so these are very far away, but that is... Oh, okay, I shouldn't have done that. So so I was stunned. I'm going to see if I can hit this one. No? Okay. Okay, this one, for sure. It went up right away. So this has gone bad, unfortunately, but we can make this up. So we took out one. Are you ever going to get low enough?
Come on, buddy. You can do it. There we go.
So, all right, cool. Okay, that's the last one, so we can just do that. All right, we do have 99 big bombers. We will go through this game using the vast majority of them. There's a reason why I farmed another 29 for 5 hours. And this next thing is the funniest fast forward coming up in the game. It. And you. I just love that.
Perfect.
That was a person of no importance. Anyway, here are 2 shock troopers. Once again, big bomber. We're gonna hope that the second one hits both of them. It did not, so that is another element of RNG that we just kind of had to deal with. But that's just extra cleanup.
Yeah, this room. Yeah, these are where the RTX 5090s are. They have them lined up all the way around. All these GPU fans.
Yeah, and this is the last save load of the run. He starts walking and talking, and that's slow. We want to run and be silent. So, and we can hit the switch right away now. But after this is the one optional fight in the game. It's 2 soldiers. We can just dodge through them. But they can cast magic and usually thunder. Sometimes blizzard, but usually thunder. And every time we get hit, we'll be knocked back. We're gonna have Sonon try to attack them, but it probably won't work.
And what you mean by optional is that you can flee battles, but the only battle in the run that is actually fleeable is this one.
Okay, 1 thunder isn't too bad. I've been hit by 3 in the past. All right, this is an armored magic trooper. When it gets to about 50% HP, it'll blow up and eject the soldier in front of it. We want to hit it with 2 big bombers and 2 leapfrogs. The bombers from Sonon, the leapfrogs from Yuffie. This is actually kind of okay. I need to back out. I'm gonna do this. All right, that was actually better than I've had in a long time. You can leapfrog through the explosion and hit the soldier inside. You might miss sometimes, but it does give you super armor. So we try to take advantage of that in a lot of places. Parrying also gives you kind of super armor, so we're going to be using that a lot, particularly towards the end of the run. Right, and this is the last chance for a pulley to troll us. There are 2 animations on pulleys you can get. We actually got the first one, on the first one, the bad animation, which you can jump off, but it's really hard. All right. So these are just a bunch of really weak soldiers. I've had Sonon miss earlier, which was fun. Right. So this room is the throne room, I guess, where we will fight not one armored guy, but a second armored guy. But this one is going to be an armored shock trooper. And orbs of gravity work on that one. So we're going to throw an orb at both Yuffie and Sonon, and if you do the math, that's actually less than 50%, but it's enough, luckily.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us, we were playing FF7 Remake Yuffie DLC, Frogs %, which we have the enfeeblement ring on the entire time, so every single battle is fought with frogs. It's pretty silly. I love it.
All right. We actually do want to take that guy out first before we do anything here, and I'm just waiting for this guy to commit to something. That works. All right. So in that case, I had good ATB with both Sonon and Yuffie, so I just threw a bomb with both of them, and it hit the soldier as he popped out. So that was really lucky. So this next section is a bunch of moving platforms, and we get to choose between 2 fights. In normal speedruns, we would do the left one, which is 2 Monodrive Mark IIs. They fly and they give themselves shields. So we don't want to do that. On the right side, we have 2 Sweepers, which is the red machine we fought at the beginning of this chapter. And we have a strat for that, so we're just going to take these.
Say, those flying eyes, they're shield and they become immune to damage. Are they ever fully immune to big bombers?
Yes, they can become immune to big bombers. I double checked this morning that I wasn't tricking myself. But yeah, it's like a shield that'll either make them immune to physical damage or magic damage. And because ATB is a precious resource, we do not want to deal with that. All right, bomber, and same thing, parry, orb of gravity. So when it staggers, it's going to do 60% of the enemy's... Oh, he didn't throw it. Of the enemy's HP instead of just what it was before. And now we can throw a bomber with Sonon instead. Okay, cool. More orb. Stagger again.
Because the orb also works with the stagger damage increase.
Yeah, so if you want to do the math at home, that's 160% times 37.5%. So that's a blast ray. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay, all right. I won't force you.
They are, when you're climbing up from the slums up the plate, you fight those, and they're very difficult. This is a cutter, which is just a big sweeper. It has a very short stagger period, though. So we're gonna just try to do as much as we can during stagger. It also has 2 arms we can break, but we don't want to break them in this case, actually. Oh, good. Thanks, Sonon. All right, so we actually got the orb off. That's good.
Not bad, not bad. Jeez.
Yeah, Sonon had low ATB again. All right, so left side is monodrives, but we're going to take the slug rays. If you remember the slug rays from earlier, this should go better. There's 6 of them, and they're grouped together, and we can just hit them right away, luckily. this is faster in all categories by 1 second in normal categories just by virtue of animations.
Oh, I always remember doing mono drives.
Yeah, so melee Windstorm is 1 second slower than ranged Windstorm. So bomb with Yuffie, bomb with Sonon, and now we're just going to pick off whichever ones are low enough and not staggered, like those. Oh. Okay, cool. And we're done. So real quick, we want a flashing light warning for this next fight. It's not super egregious, but it's an enemy with spinning blades, and every time we get hit, it's going to flash, and we're going to get hit a lot.
Thanks for the heads up, PX.
Yeah, yes. So this is the Moth unit. We are going to throw 2 orbs of gravity at the start and hope they hit. It can move around a lot, but it'll usually hit. If Sonon has the ATB, we will throw a 3rd orb of gravity. And again, no guarantee that it will hit. But regardless, after that, we're just going to wail on it as much as possible. Sonon has bad ATB, so probably not going to... Yeah, there you go. Half of its HP gone immediately. Also, we do have the ATB. Can you get closer, please? Okay, that's fine.
Can't believe they didn't give Orb of Gravities the arrow buff where it tracks the enemy.
The extremely used very often Orb of Gravity by so many casual players. All right, and that was the last of these except for the boss, which is the Death Wheel. The Death Wheel moves around a ton. We don't have many good options, so we're just going to be throwing bombs at it and hoping they hit. I'm going to try to be patient and try to make sure that it's not going to be in a state where it's moving away. It's going to spin, it's going to be driving in a lot of circles, doing donuts and stuff. Once it gets to low HP, it'll spin out and go into a pressure state, and we're absolutely going to stagger it, even though it's going to be at super low HP.
Even non-frogs struggle with this thing, how much it moves.
Yeah, I do want to see what it does. Okay. Oh, okay, that was not what I was expecting. Okay, cool. Saturation attack is great. Okay, got missile is also great. All right, this is probably low enough. Yeah. So just we're gonna parry to stagger, and now we can just wail on it. All right.
That's it. You don't have to deal with these shields at all.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Scarlet. We're going to be fighting her next. She's going to be piloting a mech called the Crimson Mare. We've been using a lot of big bombers and a lot of orbs of gravity. Those will not work on this boss. So our tools right now are just basic attacks, parrying, and leapfrog. So we're going to be using those to take out the Crimson Mare. In normal categories, it's a mandatory 2-phase fight. This is hopefully going to take us 3. If it takes us 4 phases, my bad. But this is also going to be... It's now going to be, since I messed up earlier, this is now going to be the first fight where we use the Solaris and give us haste. So we're going to use that at the start of the battle, and then if we have the ATB at the start of the 3rd phase. Great. And we're going to be attacking the main body this entire time. You can also attack Scarlet, but she's high up there, so not going to bother. And leapfrogs will miss frequently in this fight.
Oh. I love Scarlet so much.
Lasers will block our movement. You can parry through them, though. So in this first phase, she will switch between who she's targeting, between me and Yuffie and Sonon. We absolutely want to make sure that we stagger. Okay, that missed point blank. Great. And now she's staggered. So now we're just going to do as much damage as we can in this phase. Hopefully we get like something like a 3rd through. Okay, and now she's going to...
Forgot about there.
Yeah. So now she gets 2 laser gun arms. They're going to shoot guns. We're going to take out one of them. When we take out one of these arms, she's going to become immobile for a little bit, which will enable us to do a lot of damage. Oh, good.
Oh.
Okay, that's fine. Second one hit. So now we can just attack and fill up this bar. We do want to make sure that we're not like wasting ATB. And that missed point blank. But okay, stagger. Okay, we destroy the arm. If the arm stays, if the other arm stays active, I guess, you can destroy it and put her out of commission for a little bit longer. But we didn't get that, unfortunately. Instead, we're going to get the sword and shield phase. And we're going to re-up Celeris right here. All right, so once again, we're going to see if we can take out... one of her arms, and that'll again immobilize her. Okay, cool. So once we stagger her, that should be it for this fight, unless all these moves miss. All right, perfect.
GG's.
And now we have the deep ground soldiers. If you get close to them, they will teleport. Also, they might just teleport because they feel like it. We're going to throw as many bombs as we can at the start and hope they all hit them. Oh, that was really nice. All right, so now we just have one to deal with. But
yeah,
we
the
need...
biggest struggle is their teleport, but they do not do it at all for the first like 3 seconds.
They can actually.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they can immediately teleport. All right. And these are the projector fights. There's going to be 3 fights and then 1 boss. Oh, good. They went super far apart. And that missed. Okay.
Classic unknown. I always thought this arena looked super awesome.
Yeah, so you can kind of guess, if they don't move around too much, you can predict where the enemies are going to spawn, even though there's no real, there isn't really any sort of like signpost or anything. Also, this one's backing up, and I want to stagger you. We need to take these out one at a time. They're very annoying enemies. All right, this might hit. Yes, okay, perfect. All right, so after this is some soldiers. They have low HP, but we can't kill them until they're active. But after that is going to be the boss, which is the projector itself. So the projector is going to summon an enemy called the Diabolical Creation. And we can't do any damage to the projector itself until we defeat the Diabolical Creation. So we need to defeat it in a way that has us save our ATB a bit. Oh, oops, I hit the shield. Okay. The projector, it becomes vulnerable once the monster is defeated, but it's a very, very short period of time where we can do damage. And if we don't defeat it in that period of time, we have to do it all over again, and the monster gets a lot more aggressive. So we're throwing an orb here. 1, 2, 3. Parry once, throw an orb at Sonon. Parry. Parry. We're going to use a Celeris here, and then leapfrog. This will trigger skill master. Another string, leapfrog, and then we're just going to attack it. So after this, it'll probably teleport away. That's fine. I would rather deal with this than deal with not enough ATB on the projector itself. because we missed an attack during stagger, we're doing a lot less damage than we'd like. Okay, and here we go. So we're going to throw an orb at Yuffie and Sonon. And let those go off. That's going to do a lot of damage. And then we can just throw a bomb with Sonon and
nice.
Done. And you can fast forward this for some reason. All right, and now is the final boss. This is going to be a war of attrition.
How much HP do we got to take out?
I don't remember. It's in my nose, I'm pretty sure. But it's going to be... There's going to be cutscenes in between a bunch of phases. Bombers don't work. Oops, I didn't get that off in time. Orbs don't work. So we're going to be using Leapfrog and Celeris again. Also, I definitely did that. But our tools are going to be Leapfrog and parries. So if we hit, if he lets me, we will put him into a pressured state. And Sonon will yoink him away from me with his tongue. But we're going to be trying to do that as much as possible. There is a period of time between when the game will allow us to put him into a pressured state. So we just have to deal with that. Or we can lick him and it'll do that. All right, so this is good.
Notes for you. He has 39,000.
Oh, great.
Woo. Thanks for that.
So yeah, I want to parry through his attacks as much as possible, just so I can not get knocked down like that. And sometimes the attack strings are way too long. He gets haste. I don't know if haste actually does anything for him. Oh, okay. And that's phase 1. So phase 2, the most common thing he'll start with is one of his projectile attacks, so like Dark Torrent or something like that. He will also fly around a lot more. If he's flying, we can't do anything but lick him. It's a real pain. There's also a chance we'll see the attack Chaotic Pulsars. It will happen during the fight. I'll talk about it once it does happen, and if I get greedy. Okay, I think it's gonna happen. Nope. Okay, cool. So we need to pressure him twice every single time. He will eventually put his guard up like that. So that's just kind of how they've designed him to be kind of a pain. All right, and now he's in the air. So we're just gonna lick him until he comes down.
See, this is the phase of the fight where you notice your HP is being drained.
Yeah.
That's why it's
the lowest I've seen your HP go.
Yeah, and this is Chaotic Pulsars. It's a bunch of dark geysers that you don't want to get hit by. Okay, Sonon's gonna hit him, and he put his guard up. Great. This should do it. Okay. Yeah. So this is why this fight is impossible in hard. If you go into red health, he will do a move that will instant kill you. You have time to heal yourself before it actually happens, but it's also just a long animation, so we want to avoid that as much as possible. And this fight is going... I might just do it now, unless this pushes him to the next phase. Again? If you get hit by one of those, you get launched up very high. Not yet. Okay, I'm gonna do this now. I do not want to get the animation. That's kind of early.
So you're trying to save your pressure bar for next phase?
I wasn't trying to, but it was just kind of, I am not landing enough leapfrogs. We're going to re-up Celeris here. He's going to teleport, and every time he teleports, we need to relock on. Which is, that's kind of an... Yeah. All right, cool. So now that we've staggered him once, he will do a move called Veil of Woe, and that will give him a shield. So that'll have... Oh, we get it immediately. There are a couple... We don't exactly know the best way of taking care of it. I think it's attacking him from behind. I think you can also do enough damage to him, and then it will break. But yeah, if we try to attack him, we will get bounced. Okay, Sonon hit him, and it didn't break it. It is pretty random whether or not you actually get to break his shield. But we did it. All right. So now it should be pretty straightforward. We will want to heal again, probably. I'm actually going to do that now. This is not the last phase yet. I don't actually... I think this is just a DOT move for the entire arena.
It increases that drain that you've been getting the whole time.
Oh, where is he? Oh, he's in the air. Oh, nice. Sometimes Lick does that, and I don't know why.
Hey, we'll take that stagger.
Yeah.
I don't believe this will put him into next phase, right?
It might. Nah, not yet.
Final phase is noted by he produces wings that you can target.
Oh, here it is. Oh. Yeah, so now we're gonna hard target the wings. But yeah. Once the wings are broken, he will go into a very long stagger. So we definitely want to take advantage of that. He's so far away. All right, here we go. So once this is out, that's time.
Come on.
It is a very long stagger and time.
GG.
Thank you. Luckily, you're never really worrying about dying, but Nero is a pretty... It's a lot of RNG and a lot of just kind of like, are you making the right decision about when to attack him? So it's you just constantly need to think about whether or not you're making the right move. But yeah, that is the Yuffie DLC with every battle as a frog. Hopefully, if that wasn't fun, it was kind of funny looking.
No, I think that was fun. It was nice seeing, you know, hey, you're not going to use any of Yuffie's regular abilities in this entire run. You're still going to take care of it. So totally worth it to farm up to 99 big bombers. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, VXC, how do you feel? Now that you're through the run, I know you're a little bit nervous going into it, but I think that was great.
Yeah, I feel really good. I practiced a ton, and this is my first showcase run of everything. I've done commentary before, but never actually like performing. So I'm happy it went really well in a lot of parts.
Yeah, our final time looks like we clocked in at 55:58.6.
Oh, that's sick.
So you beat your estimate. So yeah, you're 1 for 1 on that.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about anything.
My RTA PB is a low 55, so that's really good.
Nice.
He's fine. I haven't played Rebirth yet, but I'm sure he'll show up and we'll be all hunky dory.
Rebirth is good. I won't talk about too much other than there's some frog shenanigans in Rebirth. So.
Even more people than rings.
you could have fun with your frogs even more. Maybe we'll have to have you back in the future and you do Rebirth Oops All Frogs.
That's gonna take like 7 hours.
7, 10 hours, you know, maybe it could be a weekend special, who knows, you know. I just like that it is possible.
Yeah.
Why does the item even exist? Like, is there a functional reason other than this is like just a silly item they put in the game? It's like, does it have any other advantage at all? It's just there.
Frogs are cool. That's a good advantage. There is someone who's done an actual like speedrun attempt of Frogs for the base game of Remake, and I think it took them like 6.5 hours. Maybe more. Maybe it was 8. I'm not entirely sure.
Sorry, I'm just enjoying the cutscene.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. It's okay. Is that a bean? It is a bean. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the lore is those are very hard beans, nuts, something like that.
The chow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I think she gives one to somebody else. They bite into them, and it's like it breaks through your teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only the Wutai can eat it, and it's fine. All right. Well, VXC, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for not saying no when I said this to you.
What, did you think I was going to say no? You think I have the ability to say no?
I mean, who could say no to frogs, right?
Exactly. That's right. I could not say no to this. This was a blast. And yeah, everything today has been really fun. But, VXC, although we're at the end of the show, we're at the end of the run, I wanted to give you a chance to shout yourself out. What do you have coming up on stream, if anything? Is there any shout-outs you would like to do for anybody else? I'm going to cede the floor to you to talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, shout-outs to Clara the Classy. I talked about them before, but they did frog runs of Yuffie before I did, and I learned a lot from watching their runs. And then shout-outs to everyone in the 7R Discord. They're all super cool. I'm not going to call everyone out by name, but there's a lot of people, and I've learned a lot. It's been super fun talking with all of them. And then obviously shout out to Generic. Thank you for helping me with commentary. I was super nervous, so I was glad you were able to join me.
No problem.
Yeah. And as far
you
as
did great. It was very informative. Thanks.
As far as streaming goes, I think you usually link my Twitch there. So I run every single Yuffie category. Not just frogs, but normal categories as well. So I've done easy, hard, or easy, normal, and then new game plus easy, normal, hard. There's actually technically 2 more categories they've added because they added a head start category, which I haven't really looked into yet. But before this, I was working on getting PBs in hard mode. So I'm going to finish doing that, then go back to new game easy, then new game normal. And I'll probably de-rust some other games as well.
Out of curiosity, what brings you to the UP DLC of all things?
The combat in 7 Remake is super cool. I was playing through it, and then Generic here, as well as Dutch Potato, who did the run at GDQ, and I watched that. It's like, yo, this is cool. It's not 5 hours long, so I could do this.
Yeah, it's like a nice, short and sweet thing. It gets you a lot of that Remake combat without the full length of the regular game. I don't know what a base game any percent run is these days, but I know it is. It's still a bit lengthy, I would say. Many, many hours. Let's come down.
5 to 6.
I'm sure everything will get faster and faster and faster. I'm amazed even the OG FF7 is still getting some pretty big time saves here and there. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for watching tonight. VXC, thank you for running Frogs Percent, generically named. You did great on commentary. Thanks again for coming on for that. And we're gonna close out here today for the night. But before we do, you should know that GDQ's AAPI celebration will be live this weekend, May 3rd and 4th, to celebrate AAPI Heritage Month with a weekend full of Asian and Pacific Islander speedrunners. Use !AAPI in chat for more info. And if you missed out on RNG or the previous run of Game Masters or came in at the end of the show, you can stay tuned as we replay both shows right after this. So tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for Out of the Box and Creature Corner. And I'll see you next time on Game